It's a humid July evening in Los Angeles when I spot him across the room at a private gallery opening in Silver Lake. The chatter is low and moody indie tracks echo from a vintage vinyl player. A cluster of artists, producers, and people who pretend to be both mill around sipping rosé and staring at canvases that range from brilliant to incomprehensible. At first, I don't recognize him. No one does. The boy genius with the oversized bow tie and encyclopedic memory, who once charmed millions as the pint-sized prodigy on Young Sheldon, is standing under a minimalist light installation, now 17 years old, tall, lean, hair shaggy and pulled into a loose bun, a faded denim jacket slung over one shoulder. There's a guitar case leaning beside him. He's quietly sketching in a leather-bound notebook, occasionally looking up at the chaotic art and smiling to himself. "Ian?" I ask hesitantly, walking over, though I'm almost not sure. He looks up. Blue-gray eyes, kind, but older, wiser, a little more guarded. "Yeah," he says, voice lower, but unmistakably his. "Hi. This is Iain Armitage in 2025, and yes, he is nearly unrecognizable." From stardom to selfhood, when Iain first appeared on screen as the younger version of Sheldon Cooper, he was only 9 years old. The spin-off to The Big Bang Theory seemed like a gamble at the time. Could a show centered on a socially awkward boy genius in rural Texas really find its footing? But Armitage brought a nuanced blend of vulnerability, humor, and genuine warmth to the character that few child actors could have mustered. He wasn't just playing Sheldon, he was Sheldon. But that was years ago. The show wrapped in 2024, after 7 successful seasons, and fans across the globe said goodbye to a character, and a performer, they'd watched grow up in real time. What they didn't expect was for Iain to disappear, intentionally, from the spotlight almost immediately. "Vanishing act, I needed to breathe," he says now, sitting in the gallery's back courtyard, sipping a matcha latte. "It's a strange thing, growing up on camera. You're always performing, even when you're not. People remember you as who you were, not who you are." After Young Sheldon, Iain quietly stepped away from acting. No big press release, no dramatic exit from Hollywood. Just a slow, intentional pullback. He deleted most of his social media. He enrolled in a private arts academy under a pseudonym. He grew his hair out. He started journaling daily and traveled through Japan, Norway, and Argentina, often alone. "I got really into street photography," he says, pulling out his phone to show a haunting black and white shot of an old man feeding pigeons in Buenos Aires. "It helped me observe without needing to be observed." But the most dramatic transformation, beyond the physical, was internal. "I had to unlearn being watched," he says. "I think for a long time, I didn't know where the character ended and I began rediscovering identity." Iain didn't stop being creative. In fact, quite the opposite. He threw himself into music, experimental folk, with hints of Elliott Smith and Nick Drake. He learned to produce his own songs, sometimes recording vocals in forests or abandoned subway stations to capture the echo of loneliness. He's working on his first album now, tentatively titled Invisible Flame. "I don't know if it'll be for everyone," he shrugs. "Maybe that's the point." He also dabbled in theater, off-Broadway, under a different name. A friend reveals he played an eerily brilliant Caliban in a downtown Brooklyn adaptation of The Tempest. His performance met with quiet awe. Nobody made the connection to the former child star. He didn't want anyone to, the director tells me. He just wanted to act, not be famous. Breaking the mold, there's a quiet bravery in what Iain Armitage has done. Stepping away not out of scandal or burnout, but by conscious choice. He saw the cliff that many child actors fall from and built his own path through the forest instead. Of course, some fans were disappointed when he didn't jump to the next Marvel role or HBO series. There were offers, big ones. He turned them down. "Every time I was handed a script where the character was a boy genius again, I kind of winced," he says. "It's not that I hate what I did. I'm proud of it, but I don't want to repeat it until it becomes a parody." That's not to say Iain is done with acting forever. Just, not right now, maybe not for a while. "I'll come back to the screen when I have something to say," he says. The face in the crowd at the end of the evening, he quietly leaves the gallery without much fanfare. A few people recognize him now, whispering, pointing, but he doesn't stop for selfies. He hoists the guitar case over one shoulder, tucks the sketchbook under his arm, and slips into the glowing Los Angeles night. It strikes me that this, too, is a kind of performance. Not for the cameras or the audience, but for himself. A slow, intentional emergence into adulthood not dictated by industry timelines or public expectation. He's 17 now. And while he may be unrecognizable to some, perhaps for the first time, Iain Armitage is exactly who he's always wanted to be. Postscript. 2 weeks after our conversation, I receive a small envelope in the mail with no return address. Inside is a handwritten note. Thank you for listening instead of labeling. I. Folded with the letter is a Polaroid. A street mural in Tokyo of a boy in a bow tie, arms outstretched like a paper airplane mid-flight. Scribbled beneath it. Let the story unfold. And maybe that's the most remarkable part of all, not the transformation itself, but the courage to continue writing it, one frame at a time. Would you like a version of this formatted for publication, blog, magazine, etc., or adapted for another style, script, interview, etc.?